This dad picked the worst time to prank his daughter after locking her out, not knowing a bear was lurking. It was the worst possible timing for this dad after he locked his daughter outside the house because the joke was about to turn sour in a way he could never have imagined. Just a few feet from where the girl stood frozen on the porch, a dark shape was already moving out from the trees, slow at first, then steady, and by the time her father realized what was really outside with her, the front door was no longer the only thing standing between laughter and disaster. The whole thing happened in a neighborhood tucked close to the edge of a wooded area. It was one of those places where people liked the trees until the trees reminded them they belonged to something wild too. 12-year-old Emma Carter had just gotten off the school bus and was walking the short path. Inside the house, her father, Mark, had seen her coming through the front window. Mark was the kind of dad who loved little jokes and harmless surprises, so when he noticed her reaching for the doorknob, a childish idea crossed his mind. He stepped to the door and pressed his weight against it from the inside. Emma twisted the handle and frowned when it would not open. "Dad," she called, already knowing he was behind it. "Stop." On the other side, Mark bit back a laugh and held firm. He figured he would keep it going for maybe 5 seconds, just enough to annoy her before opening the door with some goofy line. Emma knocked harder. She shifted her backpack, tried the handle again, and told him she was serious. Mark still did not open. To him, it was just one more harmless porch prank. Then Emma's tone changed. It happened in a single beat, so fast that at first Mark thought she was only trying a new tactic to make him stop. Her knocking became sharper. Her voice lost its irritation and turned thin and strained. She was not saying stop anymore. She was saying open the door. Open it now. Mark laughed once and told her the performance was good. Then he heard something else outside. A scraping sound moved across the wooden steps, followed by a low huff so deep and strange it did not sound human at all. The laugh vanished from his face. He lifted his hand from the door and peered through the narrow glass panel beside it. What he saw seemed to stop his body from working for a second. Standing just off the porch near the flower bed was a black bear, huge, thick through the shoulders, its snout raised as it sniffed the air near Emma. For one terrible instant, Mark understood everything at once. Emma had seen it before he had. She had not been acting. She had been trapped. He yanked the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. Mark grabbed her backpack strap with one hand and pulled with everything he had. Emma fell inside, knees hitting the floor, while Mark kicked the door shut with his leg. A heavy thud hit the other side almost immediately. Both of them froze. Mark kept one hand braced against the door, even though he knew that if the bear truly wanted in, that would not mean much. Outside came another scrape, a snort, then the sound of claws brushing wood. The house fell so silent around them that every breath sounded too loud. Mark motioned for Emma to move toward the kitchen and stay low. He grabbed his phone from the side table with shaking fingers and called emergency services, speaking in a rushed whisper at first and then louder when the dispatcher asked him to repeat himself. By the time he gave the address, the bear had wandered off the porch and moved toward the garbage bins near the garage. For nearly 20 minutes, they stayed there listening for every noise. Eventually, animal control arrived along with a patrol car. By then, the bear had crossed the yard and disappeared back toward the trees. When the adrenaline finally drained out of the room, the full weight of it hit him. Mark looked at his daughter, still pale, still trying to steady her breathing, and realized how close his prank had come to ending in something neither of them could have undone.